Hi, welcome to today's lunchtime flow. I hope you're all doing well. As always with these online classes, if anything hurts or anything feels wrong, please make any adjustment that you might need. As always as well with these classes, they are donation based, so my PayPal link is up on my home screen if you would like to donate something. Otherwise, let's get started. So we are going to start lying on our backs today. So feet together to touch, knees open wide. Let's bring one hand onto the heart and one hand onto the stomach. If it's comfortable, close the eyes, or maybe you just have a gentle gaze up towards the ceiling or anywhere that works for you. And we'll just start connecting with our breath. So gently start to deepen your breath. In and out through the nose. And start feeling where in your body you're breathing. So we talk a lot about our full body breath in yoga, and that's breathing not only into the chest, which is often where we spend most of our time breathing, but also down into our stomach. I want you to bring your awareness to your rib cage today. So even though we're thinking about sending that breath all the way down into the stomach, also trying to think about expanding outwards all the way around. So it might be sideways expansion, maybe even a little bit backwards. You feel the back of your rib cage pressing into the mat beneath you. Really using the full capacity of your lungs. If you haven't done so already, starting to engage that ujjayi sound at the back of the throat. Noticing already how clearing and how calming focusing on your breath like this is. If your eyes are closed, gently open them up and using your hands, guide your knees back together and give them a squeeze. So pull your knees in towards your chest. It might feel nice here to rock gently from side to side, just massaging the lower back. I'm going to take a happy baby one leg at a time. So place the left foot on the floor and grab the outer edge of your right foot. And you're pulling your right knee in towards your armpits. And you can do this in stillness if you've got a good sensation going on, or it might feel nice to rock a little bit from side to side, just noticing what's going on in that left hamstring, that left glute, right hamstring, right glute. Hopefully not a lot's happening in the left leg yet. Keep your breath going while you're here. We're going to gently let go of the right leg, and this time you're going to grab the outer edge of the left leg, pulling that left knee in towards your armpits. And again, you can stay in stillness here, or it might feel nice to take a gentle rock, some gentle movements, just noticing what's going on in that left glute, the left leg. And gently place that foot straight back on the floor. Taking a moment to just notice how your spine and your core are feeling, lying naturally on the mat. And then again, pull your knees in towards you, but this time grab the underneath of your thighs and take a couple of rock and rolls backwards and forwards. You might just go for one, you might go for 2, 3, 4, depending how your spine feels. If you don't like the sensation, you can stay lying on your back, hugging your knees in. I'm going to take 2 more, but you choose what feels good for you today. When you've had enough of that, making your way onto all fours, tabletop position. So hands are beneath your shoulders, knees are hip width apart. And we're going to reach our right arm up towards the ceiling, find an opening through the chest. And then thread that arm under, come down onto your right shoulder, your right cheek. Walk your left fingertips forwards to deepen the stretch. Moving nice and slowly, we'll come back to center. And we'll go on the other side. So reaching that left arm up, find that opening through the chest. Thread the left arm under, coming down onto your shoulder and your left cheek. Again, walking the right fingertips forwards if you want to deepen the stretch here. And making your way back to center. And keeping your hips stacked on top of your knees. So keeping this in line as much as you can. Walk your hands forwards. We're going to take a puppy dog pose. So walking the hands gently forwards on the mat. Drop your forehead down onto the floor. Try not to sink into the lower back here and stick out the bum. Keep a slight tuck of the tailbone and pull the tummy muscles up and in towards the spine. Options to stay here if you've got enough going on. If you want to deepen the sensation in the shoulders, you can put your chin on the mat instead of your forehead. Notice what happens to your breath here. It might become a little bit more challenging. From here, you're going to keep your forearms on the mat and shift your weight forwards and come into a forearm plank. So pressing down with the hands, the forearms, so the shoulders are lighting up. And notice if you need to swivel around if your shoulders are too far forward or too far back. Gaze is down between the hands. Really focus on your breath here. Engage muscles in your legs if you haven't done so already. Last few breaths, starting to build that heat in the body. Moving slowly, but also really getting some deep muscles working today. Gently drop your knees onto the mats and lift your weight all the way up. We're going to take a toe stand. So tucking the toes under, sit back on your heels. And if you need to sort of shuffle the baby toes, the smaller toes underneath to get them involved, please do. If this is super intense straight away, you might want to place a cushion or a block in between your seat bones and your heels. Otherwise, maybe close down the eyes here, really focusing on your breath. We're going to hold this one for a minute longer. Really starting to get into that fascia tissue that's found in the soles of our feet. Areas that we don't often stretch very well or very easily. Try not to let the tension that you're feeling creep up into other parts of your body. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, the face relaxed. And if you are finding it really challenging, just focusing completely on that clearing Ujjayi breath. Last few breaths in. Stay with it if you can. And we're going to gently release this pose by leaning forwards, back onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes under and just tap the tops of the feet out. So almost like a little drum roll, just releasing that. Getting a bit of blood flow back into the feet. And then keeping your knees sort of hip width apart, you're going to lift up into a kneeling position. So keeping the glutes switched on, the sort of core part of your body is nice and strong here. I'm going to take a couple of open twists. So you're going to reach your right arm backwards, left arm forwards. Try and keep your hips in the exact same line. So both hip bones are facing forwards. We're just twisting through the upper body. Keep lifting the crown of the head. Maybe gaze goes all the way towards the right fingertips. Come back through center and swap side, keeping the hips still if you can. Again, maybe gaze comes all the way back towards the left fingers. We're going to do one more on each side. So coming back through center, open out towards the right. Coming back to center and all the way towards the left. Come back to center, interlace your fingers, reach them up towards the ceiling. Keeping that tap of the tailbone, so I'm not arching my back, I'm not sinking into the lower spine. My core is pulled in, I'm just really thinking about my shoulders. Maybe gaze lifts if that works for you. And gently release, coming back onto your hands and knees. Reach your right arm forwards and keep your left leg back here. Keep that ujjayi breath going. Pull your tummy button in and up. Just staying in stillness today. Noticing how things feel. We're often in a bit of a rush to get moving, a rush to move on to the next pose. But really being conscious of each pose that we take today, each sensation that comes up in our body. And coming back to center. Let's go on the other side. So left arm lifts, right leg kicks back. And if you are wobbling a little bit today, keep your gaze focused to one spot. Keep pressing that right hand down so you're not sinking into the right shoulder. And coming back to center, take an inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, take a downward facing dog. So it might feel nice here to pedal out the feet, bending one knee at a time. Make sure toes are spread wide, fingers are spread wide. And keep tilting the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Bring yourself to stillness. And step your right foot in between your hands. Reach your right arm up, taking a nice easy twist. Options to stay in stillness here, or maybe take a couple of rotations with that right arm. Moving slowly, really just waking up your shoulders, noticing how they're feeling. If you're taking rotations, make sure to go in the other direction as well. And releasing both hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Let's do that on the left side. Step your left foot in between your hands. Reach your left arm up, taking that easy twist. Again, options if this feels good, just stay in stillness. Or start taking some nice big rotations with that arm. They're slow. You're noticing how each area of your shoulder is feeling as you move it. Make sure you go in both directions. So if you haven't done so already, changing directions. And releasing both hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Walk your feet to your hands. And take a ragdoll at the top of your mat. Opposite hand comes to opposite elbow. Let your head just hang heavy. And you keep quite a generous bend in the knees here. Really just letting your upper body relax, melt down towards the floor. Maybe the head takes a little sway, a little shake, yes and no. Release your hands. And on an inhale, slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing. Have your head as the last thing to lift. Reach your arms up overhead, full body stretch. Big breath in here. And as you exhale, you fold forwards. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Crown of the head reaches forwards, tailbone goes back. Fold. Inhale, we rise all the way up to standing, fingers reach tool. Exhale, hands come together at heart center. Let's go again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, reach tool. Exhale, hands come together. Let's go again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Halfway lift on the inhale. This time stepping it back, high plank. Drop your knees, untuck your toes. Moving as slowly as you can, keep your elbows close. Come all the way to the mat. Make sure your hands are closer to your ribcage than your shoulders as you peel your chest open, baby cobra. Just use your back muscles here. Tuck your toes under, press your seat bones back to your heels. Straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, rise up to standing, reach tool. Maybe a small back bend if you're ready. Exhale, bow forwards. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, high plank. Drop your knees, untuck your toes, bend your elbows, come all the way down. Peel your chest open, baby cobra. As you exhale, press back through your knees, seat bones to heels, then straighten the legs, downward facing dog. One more breath in here. As you exhale, walk, step, or jump to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to fold forwards. Lift halfway. High to low plank. Dropping the knees if you want to. Inhale, it's up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths in your down dog. Checking back in with your breath. Remembering that breath we started the class with. Are you still finding that same expansion here? Roll yourself forwards to a high plank. Pausing here. And in your high plank, you're pressing the earth away, but without moving the hands, think about pressing them towards each other. Think about pressing your feet towards each other. Notice if that really fires up core muscles, or if it doesn't, what muscles does it engage? Maybe something around the shoulders. Keep breathing here. Push back, downward facing dog. We're going to do that once more. So rolling forwards to our high plank. Press the earth away, and then without moving the hands, pressing them down and towards each other. Push back, downward facing dog. Bring your feet to touch behind you and lift your right leg up. Bend your knee, open up your hips. Keep pressing down and forwards equally here with both hands. And see if you can lift your right knee a little bit higher. Straighten that leg back out behind you and step that right foot in between your hands. You can keep that back knee lifted or you can drop it down. We're going to rise up to a lunge. Breathe here. Settling into the pose, you want to lengthen your stance a little bit. Can you bend into your front knee a little bit more? We're going to take that same twist we took in our kneeling position at the start of class. So reach the right arm back, left arm reaches forwards. Try and keep the hips square here. Maybe gaze goes all the way towards the right hand. On your next inhale, come back to center. Open out to your warrior two. Keep a bend in that front knee. Flip your front palm and reverse. Go up and go back. Windmill the arms to the mat. Step it back, high plank, pausing here. Think about pressing those hands down and towards each other, feet down and towards each other as well. So it's lighting up, it's squeezing everything into that midline. Stay with it. For another 3, for 2, for 1, either take a chaturanga here or skip it, go straight to down dog. Feet to touch. We're lifting the left leg up this time. Bend the knee, open up the hips. Aware of where this twist is coming from, try and keep the shoulders square to the front of your mat. Keep breathing deeply. Straighten that leg back out behind you and then step it in between your hands. Rise up to a lunge. You can drop that back knee if you need to. Again, if you want to deepen this sensation, shuffle that back foot a little bit further backwards. Open twist. Left arm reaches back, right arm reaches forwards. Try and keep the hips exactly in the same spots. Maybe gazing towards the left hand. Come back to center. Warrior two. Flip your front palm and reverse. Windmill the arms back to the mat, high plank, pausing in your high plank. Find that squeezing towards the center line. Press the earth away. Pull the tummy button in and up here. Staying for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either bend the elbows or push straight into your downward facing dog. Taking a couple of deep breaths here in your down dog. Full breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, soften knees, gaze forwards, walk, step, or jump to your hands. On an inhale, slowly, slowly rising all the way up to standing. Let's take a tree pose. Sole of the right foot comes to the inside of the calf or the thigh. Start with hands together at heart center. Really root that standing foot down. And see if you can find a spot in front of you and just focus your gaze to that spot. Keep your breath strong. Often when we start balancing, we lose our breath. And then choose if you like your hands together, or maybe you want to open them up. Maybe you bring your gaze up towards the ceiling, see what happens. Maybe that makes you wobble or fall out of the pose. If it does, don't worry, try not to take it too seriously. And releasing back down, both feet to the floor. Tree on the left, sole of the left foot to the inside of the calf or the thigh. Again, start with your hands together at heart center. Really root your standing foot down. Choose if you stay in center, hugging everything in, or if you feel like a bit of expansion right now, opening up. And let's see what happens on this side if you close your eyes. Maybe you fall, maybe you wobble. Again, not taking it too seriously, even if you fall all the way out of the pose. Try and keep some lightness in it. Notice what's happening with your breath. And release. If the eyes are still closed, open them back up. Bring your hands onto your hips and lift your right knee up. Without holding onto it, really pulling the knee as high as it can go. Press down with that standing foot. Crown of the head lifts. Straighten the right leg. Keeping the whole of the rest of the body in the exact same spot. So you're not leaning backwards, you're not counteracting this straightening of the leg. It doesn't matter if the foot is quite close to the floor or if you've got it all the way up. Stay with it. See if you can lift that foot a little bit higher. Keep flexing the toes back towards you. Bend that knee once more. Bring it all the way up towards your chest. And then place it back on the floor. We'll do that on the left. Bend the left knee. Bring it up towards your chest. Keeping the hips exactly where they are. The upper body exactly where it is. Straighten your left leg. Keep breathing all the way down into your stomach. Feel the expansion through the ribcage. See if you can lift your left leg a little bit higher. Bend the left knee, pull it all the way back up. And then place it down. If you need to shake out the legs a little bit, please do. If you're not there already, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, we reach our arms up tall. Exhale, we fold all the way down. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, step it back into your high plank. We're going to hold it here again, just for a few breaths. Really lighting up the arms today. Pressing hands down and towards each other. Same with the feet. Think about squeezing everything into your center line. Ujjayi breath. Holding for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Options to drop the knees or keep them lifted. We're going to lower all the way down onto the mat. Bring one cheek down, arms alongside your body. Just take a couple of deep breaths here. So we're working hard today, but we're working quite slowly. So you might notice that your muscles are getting quite tired, but it's not the same sort of rushing from one pose to another. Turn your palms so they face the floor, forehead down, big toes together to touch. Press the pelvis into the mat, lift up locust. Reach the fingertips back, squeeze shoulder blades together. Feel your breath lift you a little bit higher as you inhale. Stay lifted, reach back, interlace your fingers behind you, open your chest a little bit more. Stay lifted. And gently release, bring your other cheek to the mat, let go of your hands, sway your hips from side to side. If you need to take a sigh, go ahead, big breath into the nose. Open the mouth. Let's do that once more. Forehead down, big toes together to touch. Palms facing down, press the pelvis down, lift up. Keep breathing, keep lifting, keep stretching the whole body here. Stay lifted as you reach behind you, interlace your fingers, see if you can open your chest a little bit more. And we gently let go, release, bring one cheek down, the other side again to even up the neck. Let the hands fall alongside the body. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And we're going to all lift up into an upward facing dog. So press the hands down, knees lift off the floor, tops of the feet on the mat. Open the chest. Downward facing dog. Notice how this down dog feels compared to at the start of class. Has there been any change in the sensations going on in your body? And then let's soften knees, gaze forwards, walk, step, or jump to your hands. And we'll meet in a boat pose. So shins parallel to the floor. Make sure you're right on your seat bones. You might need to shuffle around. Arms, hands can be either underneath your thighs or open them out. Just breathing here. Options to stay where you are or take a low boat. High boat. We're going to do 3 more of these. You can join or you can stay in your high boats. Let's go low boat. High boat. Make sure you're breathing. Low boat. High boat. Last one. Low boat. Hold it here. For another 3. For 2. For 1. High boat. Hug your knees and place your feet on the mat. I'm going to swivel around so you can see me. And I'm going to straighten my right leg out in front of me and bend my left knee so the sole of my left foot is on the inside of my thigh. Make sure you're equally seated on both seat bones. Inhale to reach the arms up. And then exhale, we fold forwards over that leg. You can bring your hands either to your shin, your ankle, the sole of your foot. But really think about leading with the chest here. So try not to round the spine too much. Keep reaching forwards. If the hamstring feels tight, you can take a little bend in the knee. On an inhale, rising back up to seated. You're going to place your right hand to the outside of the bent left leg, so the outside of that left hip. And you're going to reach this left arm up and over. So we're taking a side body stretch here. And you can either reach it out, maybe you feel something already, or you reach it all the way over as if you're reaching for your right toes. But try not to round, so you're keeping the chest nice and open. And if it feels good, you might use this right hand to sort of help with this opening. So it's sort of helping twist your chest up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing all the way down into your stomach. And slowly, slowly coming all the way back up. Let's bring both feet together to touch before we go on to the other side. So feet are together, heels can be as close to you as you like. It depends how your sort of groin is feeling, how your knees are feeling. And if you've got a lot going on, if your knees are quite high up here, you can keep sitting upright. If you want to take it further, you can come to a forward fold, aiming to get your forehead down towards your toes, your soles of your feet. If that feels like a crazy idea right now, don't worry. You can more than happy to keep you sitting upright, because there might be just enough going on for you here. Just breathing deeply. We're going to really come onto the other side. So straighten that left leg out this time. Again, shuffling around if you need to, get right on those seat bones. And then again, inhale, lift up, find lightness in the upper body. And then lean over that left leg, coming to a forward fold. You can choose if your hands rest comfortably on your shin, your ankle, or the sole of your foot. But try not to force anything here. So we're looking for length rather than a sort of reaching for the toes, really pulling hard back on them. We don't want to force any of the poses that we take. And we're going to gently come all the way back up to seated, and we're going to take that same side body stretch. So this time, left hand comes to the outside of that right hip, that right thigh. Reach the right arm up. This might feel like there's a lot going on, just keeping the spine nice and straight. It might feel like you're stretching out the lower back already. Or you start reaching over with that right hand towards the left toes. Try not to go all the way for the toes by rolling forward. You're keeping that chest nice and open. You might want to use that left hand to help sort of spiral the chest up and open it a little bit more. Keep breathing. This is a lovely stretch all the way along the side body. Not always an area we can get very into when we are stretching. And coming back to center. Let's straighten both legs out this time. We're going to take a double leg forward fold. So again, making sure you're right on both seat bones. Inhale, we reach up. And exhale, folding forwards. Again, just let your hands rest wherever they comfortably reach. Not trying to force anything or reach for some part of you that's too far away, or thinking how you should be doing this pose. And coming all the way back up to seated. We're going to take one more seated stretch, so opening the legs out nice and wide. If you are quite tight in the hips or the hamstrings, you might want to sit on a block, a blanket, a cushion, anything really just to lift the hips. For me, it just helps tilt my pelvis so I'm sort of going in the right direction. Make sure the lower back is nice and straight. You can choose if sitting upright works for you here, or you might start leading with the chest. Coming to a forward fold. Hands can either be on the floor in front of you or reaching out towards your toes. And as you breathe here, on each inhale, feel a little bit more length in the spine. And as you exhale, you fold a little bit deeper. So inhale, you find length. And exhale, you fold a little bit deeper. Nice work. This can be quite an intense pose for a lot of people, so just stay with it, maybe closing down the eyes, really feeling what you need to feel, and try not to shift anything, just be in the sensations. And we're going to let go of the toes or the legs, wherever you are, and make your way slowly up to seated if you're not there already. Bring your knees together and just let them sway a little bit from side to side. Allow those sensations to settle down, to release. And when you're ready, removing anything if you're sitting on it, we're going to come to lying on our backs. We're going to set up for a bridge pose. So before we start looking at the core muscles, which we have actually used quite a lot today, even though we're in a slower practice than not my usual power yoga, we have been switching on our core a lot. And what we're going to do here is switch on the back of our body as well, because often we forget about strengthening our back body and we spend a lot of time stretching it. So feet flat to the floor, hip width apart. So make sure you can just brush your heels with your fingertips. And then moving slowly, peel your spine up off the mat. And I want you to think about your rib cage here. So often we come into this and we really press our chest forwards. And even though that can be a nice stretch through the shoulder blades, through the front body, today I want you to think more about alignment. So keeping the rib cage tucked in. That might mean you don't lift up quite as high. And your tailbone, instead of really pressing it up, it's as neutral as it can be. So enough that you feel the engagement of your core muscles. Once you feel like you've got that, you feel really in line, really sort of secure here, maybe then you walk your shoulder blades a little bit further towards each other. Keep pressing the feet down to lift the hips up. And have the intention of drawing the knees towards each other without actually moving them. So it's that same sensation of hugging in, drawing everything into the center line today. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, nice and slowly roll your spine back along the mat. So it might feel good to sway your knees from side to side. We're going to take one more back bend today. So if you feel like you want to go for a wheel, go ahead. But I'm going to talk you through another bridge pose. Press both feet firmly into the floor and use that sensation to start peeling your hips up. Again, we're really looking for no flaring of the ribcage, no pressing the chest forwards. It's all about the core muscles being hugged in, and then we might lift up a little bit more. Breathing deeply. Squeeze the glutes if you're not already. If you're not sure if they're switched on, maybe give them a little poke. Make sure you're squeezing them into. Really tune into your Ujjayi breath. So we've looked at our alignment a lot. Now breathe into the pose. And last big breath in here. And as you exhale, slowly rolling back along the mat. This time, hug both knees in towards your chest. It might feel nice to take a little sway from side to side, releasing anything in the lower back. From here, we're going to straighten our legs up towards the ceiling. Lift head and shoulders up off the mat. If it feels better for you, you can have a little bend in the knees. But if it works with straight legs, go for straight legs, whatever you want. Keeping the head and shoulders lifted, so really using those core muscles. Think about squeezing the core in and up. You're going to drop the right leg 2 inches off the floor. Lift it back up, swap sides, drop the left leg down. We're going to keep switching, so right leg goes, left leg goes. We're going to do this for 10, 9, 8, keep breathing, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your head and shoulders lifted, but bend your knees. You can choose how close your knees are towards you. The further away they are, the more challenging it is for most people. Keeping your head and shoulders lifted, but in the exact same space, we're going to do bicycle legs. So straighten the right leg, bring it back in. Straighten the left leg, bring it back in. We're going to do this for 10, 9, 8, soften through the face. 7, maybe a little smile. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And release the head down to the mat. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Nice work. We're going to take one more core exercise. Bring your feet back into that tabletop position. More like chair pose actually, not tabletop. Have your hands underneath your head and shoulders lifted. This time we're going to do that same thing with straightening one leg at a time, but we're going to introduce our upper body as well. So as you straighten your right leg, bring your right elbow towards your left knee. Great work, let's swap sides. We'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release, let go, hug knees in, give yourself a nice big squeeze. Maybe a big sigh, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Place both feet flat on the floor. And we're going to take a spinal twist. So opening out the arms, they can be in a sort of T shape or bent elbows if that works better. I'm going to let both knees fall towards the right. If you have space, I'm going to just shuffle a little bit. So both knees are falling towards the right. Gaze is towards the left. If you want to deepen the stretch, maybe place your right ankle on the top of your left thigh. So we're just looking for a twist all the way along the spine. Keep your breath at the forefront of your mind, even as we start slowing things down a little bit here. And gently make your way back through center. And then place both feet flat on the floor. And then let both knees fall towards the left. Gaze is towards the right. You can choose if you've got enough going on, or if you place your left ankle on top of your right knee, right thigh. And we're going to release this side. Hug both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. And we're going to finish off with a happy baby. So rather than go one leg at a time, we're going to go for both feet at the same time. Think about pulling your knees in towards your armpits here. It might feel nice to stay in stillness, or it might be nice to take a gentle rock from side to side. Just allowing your awareness to run over your physical body, noticing how you're feeling, how your energy levels are, and then bringing yourself back into your breath. So that deep, deep, full body breath. Releasing feet, hug both knees in towards your chest. Bring your forehead up towards your knees and make yourself as small as you can possibly be. Take a big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out, come to lying on your back, setting up for your final rest, Shavasana. So take up as much space as you want to, as you have. Feet are open out, palms face the ceiling. Knowing there's nowhere else you need to be right now, nothing else you need to be doing. You've got everything you need right here in your physical body. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then let it go. Let's do that again. Big breath in through the nose, and let it go. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Reach your arms up overhead, take a full body stretch, waking yourself back up for your afternoon, your week ahead, hopefully with a little bit more space physically, mentally. Roll yourself onto your right side into a fetal position. And then make your way up to a seated or a kneeling position. Hands together at heart center and your eyes closed. Taking a moment to close your practice by thinking of someone or something that you're grateful for right now. With that thought of gratitude in your mind, lift your thumb knuckles up to your forehead center. And together we bow forwards and say, Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed class. I hope you're feeling a little bit more open, especially along the hamstring side body. I hope you have a wonderful Monday and to see you again soon. Also, let me know any questions, any feedback at all. Thank you.